Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Sylvester, and Tweety will return after these messages.
Hey, Dad, burn it.
What's wrong?
They left without breakfast again.
What are you serving?
Beans, what else? Yuck.
How about fruit flavors?
Fruit? That's different.
Come follow my nose.
Got a nose big as Texas.
It always knows.
Whoa, Kellogg's Fruit Loop cereal.
With natural orange, lemon, and cherry flavors and a full day supply of vitamin C, part of this complete breakfast. Well,
Little birdie, I'm making Fruit Loops my brand.
Go get him, Dragon Walker! Go!
Dragon Walker, Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor and Merman each sold separately.
Step right this way, He-Man!
Batteries not included.
What's that?
Dragon Walker!
Take that, He-Man! May the mightiest power prevail! Now!
New Dragon Walker vehicle for use with most Masters of the Universe figures. Action figures each sold separately. From Mattel.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner. Bugs Bunny, Daffy, and Speedy will return after these messages.
Here's Ronald McDonald in
French fry lovers.
It's a good time for McDonald's French fries.
The Fry Guys.
Bye-bye!
Give back those fries, guys.
Can't get that!
Oh, Pop. Uh-huh. Oh, boy.
Is that Mom?
Share your fries.
Oh, it's Ronald!
McDonald's French fries is fun for the whole family.
Good time
Fries,
for
guys.
the great taste of McDonald's.
French fries!
You can phone here.
bye, Mom.
Now what?
You could win a phone of your own in my Monster Phone sweepstakes.
Yeah?
1,000 kids can win their choice of a Touch-O-Matic, clock radio, cordless, or Monster Button Phone.
Yum.
Plus $100 for bills.
If the phone monster game in special boxes of Captain Crunch says you win,
I win!
1 in 19,000 may win for free games like Monster Phone, Box 2683, Island Park, Illinois, 60035.
I'll eat it.
Great shape Barbie.
Kit, Barbie, you're looking so great!
Here's Great Shape Barbie doll. Great Shape Ken doll sold separately.
Ooh, Barbie needs leotards. Love your leg warmers. Round and round. Great workout, Barbie. Hurry, headband in your bag. Where are you off to? Looking that great, it's gotta be a date.
Great Shape Barbie doll comes with leg warmers, bag, and exercise book. Ken doll sold separately. From Mattel.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner. Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner will return after these messages.
I'm Romeo and I love red. Red gives me a headache.
Introducing Rainbow Bright, Starlight, Romeo Sprite, and Lurky, each sold separately.
I love everybody.
Cheer for Rainbow, Rainbow Bright.
Oh, Romeo, you kiss everybody.
Rainbow Bright, Starlight, Lurky, and Romeo Sprite are each sold separately. The world of Rainbow Bright is new by Mattel.
I see. It tastes so wonderfully. And all that vitamin C. Shoo-be-doo-wah. Why you love high C.
High C fruit drinks are so cool, so delicious, and come in so many real fruit flavors.
That's why you love high C.
Who can fill the days with fun and laughter? Poochie, that's him. Who always gets what she goes after? Poochie, that's him. Who? Poochie, that's him.
Slumber parties can be fun with Poochie Notes and Stuff, Glamour Nails, and Overnighter, each set sold separately.
Poochie Stamper. Ooh, Poochie Comb. Ah, lots of Poochie stickers.
Who can make fun wherever you go?
Poochie, that's who. Night, Poochie.
Poochie Notes and Stuff, Overnighter, and Glamour Nails, each set sold separately. Poochie is from Mattel.
Saturday's the place on CBS. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for action with the premiere of Pole Position, beginning Saturday, September 15th.
This is CBS.
Grimace, here's a record by my favorite group, the McDonald's Happy Meal.
That's
us. Hamburger.
Soft drinks.
Fries.
All regular size. When it comes to being happy, you guys hold the record.
No, you're holding the record.
Teacher, here's an apple for you. Oh, thank you.
When you buy a McDonald's School Days Happy Meal, the games can make learning neat. There's even a surprise inside, like a Ronald pencil sharpener. 4 different School Days Happy Meal boxes at participating McDonald's.
The Get Along Gang, tonight at 7:30.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Road Runner. Bugs Bunny, Daffy, and Speedy will return after these messages.
Introducing the world of Rainbow Bright, Starlight, and Loki, but sold separately.
I'm Rainbow Bright, and I have the power of the rainbow to make everybody happy. I'm Loki, and you can't make me happy. With my purple star and my horse Starlight, wow! I can make you happy and bright.
Starlight, Rainbow Bright, and Loki are each sold separately. The world of Rainbow Bright is new by Mattel.
Green, 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 I'm Patio Green. I like being woke up. I don't like green pigtail.
Introducing Patio Green, Loki, Rainbow Bright, and Starlight, each sold separately.
Help, Rainbow Bright! Cheer for Rainbow, Rainbow. You're always getting into trouble, Patty.
Rainbow Bright, Starlight, Loki, and Patio Green are each sold separately. The world of Rainbow Bright is new by Mattel.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Road Runner. Bugs Bunny and the Road Runner will return after these messages.
Barbie Dream Furniture. Barbie, she's awake.
The Barbie Dream Bed. You have to put it together.
Breakfast in bed, Barbie.
Twirly Girls Barbie dolls sold separately.
Her name's on her sheet and on this pillow. Fancy lace on everything. Come on, Barbie. Are you going to spend all day in your beautiful bed? Barbie Dream Furniture.
The Barbie Dream Bed comes with sheets, mattress, pillows, and canopies. Barbie dolls sold separately from Mattel.
Here's Ronald McDonald.
It's a good time for fun with McNuggets.
That's us! How do McNuggets visit outer space?
In flying saucers.
If Chicken McNuggets played music, what would it be?
Chunk rock. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's McNuggets.
Lighten up, take a bite, so soft and creamy, it's so dreamy. 3 Musketeers, every bite fluffy and yummy, a chocolate cloud so smooth and light, almost chocolate bite-full, delicious, delightful, fluffy. 3 Musketeers, lighten up on a chocolate cloud.
And now, back to Bugs Bunny and the Road Runner. And now, these messages.
I see. It tastes so wonderfully. And all that vitamin C. That's why you love high C.
High C fruit drinks are so cool, so delicious, and come in so many real fruit flavors.
That's why you love high C.
What is you full of fun for lunch?
Zeroni!
We love it a bunch.
Good fun for
you, good for you, too.
Zeroni, we want animal-shaped pasta from Chef Boyardee.
Yummy tomato sauce, cheese, and pasta shaped like us.
Elephant's meatballs, delicious.
And nutritious.
Zeroni, we want Zeroni, with or without meatballs. A zoo full of fun that's good for you, too.
Yeah! Back off, He-Man! No way! Then face the mighty power chop of Jitsu! Yeah!
Jitsu, Skeletor, Strider, and He-Man figures each sold separately.
Gotcha this time, He-Man! Oh yeah! Now, mighty Strider, charge! Yow! Way to go, Strider!
Strider and Jitsu, new from the Masters of the Universe collection, each sold separately. Other action figures also sold separately. From Mattel.
Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner will return after these messages. Saturday's the place on CBS.
How do we get home?
With the return to the mystical realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
This whole place is a bad dream.
September 15th. This is CBS.
It's coming! Woo! The Jolly Rancher!
There's a legend out west where candy's concerned.
Jolly Rancher.
Got a brand of big flavor and the fame it's earned.
Jolly Rancher.
There's watermelon, cinnamon, green apple, peach. I get a hankering, I always reach for the candy with a taste as big as this land. It's a Jolly Rancher brand. Jolly Rancher candy, it is sure to have there's flavor as big as this.
Talking big flavor.
Wheel of Fortune, weeknights at 7:30.
And now back to Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner.
Welcome, everyone. I see all the blue hearts in chat. I really, really appreciate that, guys. That's really, really awesome. Because let's not forget why we're here. Let's not forget why because I feel perfectly comfortable dragging the shit out of Letitia, but it's important that we understand and we remember why we're doing so. So this before we get into this, I thought I'd just, share I like to troll. I like to troll. And so and the people who exploit the Summer Wells case, they make it really, really easy. They make it really easy. And it's funny because they all fall into like the same pattern of behavior. It's just really, really funny. And I give me 1 second here and let me so this person, so I at one point I did talk about crimes, lines, and lies. And she posted this thing. It's just so ridiculous. She posted this thing, like all confident too, saying, because it says here, the post, it says, what parents leave when child is missing. Basically stating that somehow Dawn Wells and Candace Bly leaving Rogersville, leaving Tennessee, somehow makes them guilty. Somehow it makes them look guilty of whatever happened to Summer, which is ridiculous. And we all know why. We all know why they left. And so her caption is great question, #Summer Wells, which of course, click to expand. See you at 9 a.m. Central. So great question. What parents leave when a child is missing? And then I wrote, the kind that are constantly harassed as a result of YouTubers making false accusations and spinning false narratives with absolutely no proof of a crime. And so, of course, she sticks to this stupid. I'm not going to get into this back and forth with this person because the last time I did this, it was like talking to a wall, but it entertains me to leave trolling comments. So, she's like, I think it would help if LE would clear them as suspects and rule out foul play. They haven't ruled anything out. They haven't ruled anything out. And they said everyone is a suspect. So they haven't ruled out anyone else besides them, which makes them no more suspicious than literally anyone else. If that's the logic you're using, anyway. I mean, it's just it kills me. And then there's this one, and this is what I just had fun with. So this is the, I guess I triggered her, because I'm challenging her ethics, I'm challenging her morals, as to why she's doing what she's doing. And she, you know, she puts up one of these, and she puts up one of these memes, man. One of these like excuses. It's a meme filled with excuses that is like disguised to be a self-help meme. And as you can see, it says right, bullshit. It's not a self-help meme. It's not my job to heal others, please others at my expense, make it work if the effort isn't mutual, continuously compromise, tiptoe around you, anticipate your needs, change myself to your liking. This sounds like something written by somebody who just got fucking dumped. And it says, it is my job to heal myself, listen to my needs and my desires, respect myself and my time, be my true authentic self, set healthy boundaries, and protect my energy, leave when I'm not being valued, and hold on, let me see, and say no when it's not in alignment, be mindful with my yes. So I find this hilarious because, guys, what do we do here? You know what I mean? Like, what do we do here? Because it's what this is the most telling meme that I've ever seen a YouTube creator post. This is what's really funny to me, because this is incredibly telling. It's very Bullhorn Betty-esque, you know. It's very Bullhorn Betty-esque, because it really talks about respecting people's boundaries and respecting myself and my time, but nothing at any point does it say anything about respecting anyone else's boundaries. People, this is a fundamental difference between somebody like me and somebody like this person, because what I try to do is I try to make decisions, and I've been saying this since I started this channel. I try to make decisions that are healthy decisions for myself, of course. But I also try to make decisions that somehow complement someone else's environment, that if I can help it, and I can complement it, but what I don't want to do ever is make decisions that interfere with someone else's personal environment and their efforts or cross their boundaries. It's simply about having respect for others. Nobody's saying not to have respect for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's saying anything about not respecting yourself. Nobody's criticizing you for taking pride in yourself. What you just did there was prove me right about literally every single YouTuber who continues to do what they're doing, who think that they're good people. So, of course, I commented. And I just wrote, what a crock of entitlement. Because it's true. That was just a list of an expression of entitlement. I'm entitled to being happy and at peace, which everyone is entitled to be happy. But you're not entitled to happiness at someone else's expense. And you don't, and right there, she makes it a point in the meme that says, you're not entitled to happiness at my expense. But for some reason, there's nothing about her happiness. There's nothing about her happiness that is at the expense of the people in her personal environment. And she's dragging these people in her personal environment. She's dragging Don and Candace. This is what exploitation is. And there's no mention of any consideration for others, which is just hilarious to me, and extremely telling. And so somebody, one of her simps, is like, how is setting boundaries an entitlement? I mean, a narcissist might see it that way. So, of course, whenever these people get challenged, whoever challenges them is a narcissist. This is always the case. Anytime that I challenge somebody's sense of entitlement and their bullshit, I get called snarky or a narcissist. Everyone is a narcissist, by the way, in communities like this. In communities like Crime Lines and Lies, that everyone who they suspect is a narcissist. Anyone who says anything that they would disagree with or criticize them for saying because it might victimize someone else, then they must be a narcissist. You're attacking me because you're a narcissist. It's always hilarious to me. It goes on, and then somebody else is like, why do you feel entitled to leave a comment? You must have some issues. Which I responded to after that. But I wrote to respond in response to the I mean, a narcissist might see it that way. I wrote, no, that's a list designed to excuse not considering anyone else's boundaries. So actually, a narcissist is more likely to justify their lack of respect for other people's boundaries by posting a list like this as a defense mechanism against criticism against them. This list is basically a mild passive-aggressive tantrum because this criticism against their behavior is sound and they know it. Of course, this went right over their heads. You speak in circles. I bet I do to you. And then in response to why do I feel entitled to leave a comment, that was just a stupid comment. So I just wrote sarcastically, I feel entitled to leave a comment because there is a comment section. I heard somewhere that comment sections were specifically designed for people to leave comments on them. I think maybe I ought to look up the definition of comment section. And then look up the definition of unimportant. Peace. And then I'm like, yeah, I've certainly got your attention, don't I? Doing shit like that just entertains me. Especially when they leave, like, when they heart my comment, like the creator hearts it. Because it's like them going, woosah. Woosah. I'm not going to show that he's getting to me. I'm not going to show it. It always cracks me up. So yesterday, moving on. Yesterday, so what we're doing right now is we're going over the Letitia Stauch, interrogations, and it was interesting in trial to hear the commentary from the detectives who are conducting the investigation and the interrogation. And as I said yesterday, that's why I put up the voting thing in the community so that you guys could let me know what you think and if you guys were interested in that. I had reservations, more or less, about what I was going to do. And having watched it yesterday, I found it extremely interesting because there was a lot that we know about the case, little details that we disagreed upon, semantics in the chat amongst me and people in the chat. Hopefully that doesn't happen again today. But it's interesting to watch the interrogation videos. It was interesting to watch the body cam footage, to watch Letitia's behavior and Letitia's body language. After we know everything, we know where the crime scene was, we know what they found, we know what they tested, we know all of these things. But at the time, they hadn't even begun to conduct their investigation. These were just officers who were answering a missing person's call, a missing child's call, and they were just doing standard things like looking around and asking certain questions, descriptions, taking statements as to what happened here. It's not their job to investigate. It's not their job. That's why they have investigators with that job title. And so they take the information and they pass it along to the investigators, the detectives. So it wasn't, and I was stating, I don't think it was suspicious at the time, because again, these guys aren't really, they're not really supposed to be looking out for suspicion necessarily. It's not really their job. And they probably wouldn't have anyway, because these guys are beat cops. You know, they answer domestic calls all the time. They answer robbery calls all the time. They go out, they answer calls, they take statements, they pass it on up to somebody who, you know, can handle investigating it. That's it. So it was interesting to see, knowing now what we know about the case, knowing now what evidence they had, knowing now, like I said, where the crime scene was, and watching her try to deflect. I found that really interesting. Watching her trying to deflect and kind of protect the crime scene and distract them from looking over there too much, and pointing things out on the floor that were in the opposite direction when she had a room full of cops. It was like 3 cops in there. So it was just fascinating to see that, and not, you know, in the fashion that we had to watch the trial. So we're going to keep going over it. And I really appreciate you guys being here, by the way. I know there's not as many in here as there was yesterday. So those of you that are here, thank you for being here. It means a lot.
So, like, my whole family is being harassed.
So after she was talking about certain things, I can't remember exactly what it was she was talking about, but I feel like it piqued the lead detective's interest. I keep forgetting her name. But something piqued her interest that I felt that she was going to get a warrant for. Or maybe not a warrant. Oh, it was the surveillance footage around the Petco. So as soon as she was explaining all that, and she was kind of giving herself away, and she was just kind of like, well, you know, you guys will see that. You guys will see that. And she's almost like involuntarily flexing that she knows how this investigation is going to go. And she's kind of getting off on thinking that she is smarter than the detectives, that she's getting away with a crime. She's in there just talking and talking, deflecting, trying to be confusing while just, yeah, this is a fascinating individual.
My mom is being threatened to be killed. My daughter is being stalked. That's why it took me a while to get here, because I had to put some safety measures in for her own well-being.
Okay.
And my family from back home is being threatened. People are saying they're sending people after them.
Okay.
All those things. So, you know, there's always a world of people making situations and saying, let's be a good person, but then threaten someone else.
Okay.
And so being aware of that's what was going on. So in between all that and all these
It's like she's really concerned. She's truly, truly concerned here about how she's viewed in the public. She's really concerned about the criticism she's getting and having a lot of resentment towards those people. That's why she continued to respond to posts. People were basically almost accusing her, but they were trying to, which I don't recommend people do. But next time when that happens, when somebody is so active on social media, there might not be nearly enough evidence to solve the crime. And that could interfere with the investigation. If there's even that risk, I'm not going to do it. Caleb Mandrake, long time, buddy. It's good to see you.
People were sending me like messages that people were saying and blah blah blah. I didn't respond to any of them. During all that, there was something along the lines of someone checked neighbors 2 doors down or something, camera footage, and never saw anyone do this or that. Like, I don't know, like specifics. But my point behind telling you that is, if this is what you guys, and I'm not saying this is what you're basing stuff on, if this is what you're basing stuff on, is like in this day and age, timelines, security, things like that, you will see on somebody's security, Gannon and I run to the car at 10 something that morning and be returning at 2 something.
Okay.
So
nobody's accused her of anything yet. At least nobody in that room. You know what I mean? Nobody's accused her of anything yet, but everything that she's talking about is coming from a nature of being defensive. She's in defense mode. Like if I were to cooperate with law enforcement, right? Because I always say, well, innocent or guilty, I'm not talking to anybody without an attorney present. But let's just say hypothetically, I felt so comfortable that I could talk to somebody and I was innocent, and I could talk to somebody I felt comfortable talking to and cooperating and saying whatever. You know what I mean? I have nothing to hide. I still wouldn't be talking as much as she's talking. I would just be sitting there and answering direct questions with direct answers as clearly as I possibly can. Like an innocent person would likely do that. Now, there's always the possibility that they might just be a nervous person. They're intimidated by cops. They're freaked out. But I mean, if it's that case, if that's the case, then lawyer up. I mean, it seems silly to me that if you're that nervous, but this is what shows the difference between her and someone who simply made a mistake or had, or has any type of remorse. She planned on lying to the police after she murdered her 11-year-old stepson. She had every intention of lying to them. She had every intention of running from them if need be, because she did all of these things. But she had every intention of lying to law enforcement as soon as every single time that she spoke to them. The minute that she called 911, she had the intention of lying to law enforcement. And so every waking moment, since the fear of going to prison is haunting her, every waking moment, she's trying to think of the next thing she has to say. And she has to think of what she's going to say to Al. She has to think of what she's going to say to the police. She has to think of what she's going to say on social media. She has to think of what she has to say on the news. Because now the whole world is talking about this case. At this point, the whole world is talking about this case. At this point, I think I've even done 1 or 2 live streams while this interrogation is taking place. So the pressure of the whole world is on her right now. So she's clearly going to try to prepare her lie, because she wouldn't do this unless she somehow got off on it. If she was just simply trying to get away with it, and she was genuinely scared, but just trying to get away with it, she would have used more common sense than this, because she is that manipulative. She's capable. She would have used a lot more common sense. She would have either lawyered up, or she would have just ask me a question and I'll give you an answer. Next question. Short and sweet. Or, you know what? I don't remember. I don't know. But the reason why I say that not only is she doing the obvious, which is trying to cover her tracks and not taking any accountability for her actions, she's getting off on it. She's enjoying it. She's enjoying the cat and mouse with the police. It's a cat and mouse game in her mind. And I hate to use that cliche, in a deadly game of cat and mouse. 2 detectives, 1 stepmother.
I remember specifically the truck. I pulled it right in front of the ring. And
Your ring?
Yes, but we don't have a subscription.
Okay.
But according to these neighbors who can see all the way to the truck every day,
okay,
they should be able to show you during those time frames that we run in, we run out, he runs back in, or whatever.
Okay.
And then
so you leave around 10 something, and then you get back around 2 something.
I feel like it was like 2:35, 2:25, 2 something.
Okay.
Because I knew I had to be back in time to do a couple things, and then I knew Lane would be coming there. I knew Harley would be getting off work, yada, yada, yada. So that was my whole thing. So going on from there, Gannon goes inside, I think first. I don't want to misquote myself, but I'm pretty sure he ran in first. And I had the bag for Petco and all that stuff in my hand. Now, I don't.
Which door did you guys use?
We always go in through the garage if we, typically, if we like park, like on the front part of the
Let's
yard.
get some tomatoes
So
in the
we go in
chat.
through the garage.
Some tomatoes for
He goes in
Letitia.
through the garage. I go in. I'm getting ready to put things, stuff like that. And this is where it's out. I made a mistake. This is it.
Okay.
So, as we got inside, I heard something. But I didn't think anything about it because I thought, maybe Gannon was doing something. Maybe we were like doing whatever. The guy was in there. And I gave him the code.
The guy from the...
Yeah, it's all my fault. Because I gave him our code to fix the carpet.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have.
Oh, God. Come on.
Get real, lady.
He was inside. I noticed when I had walked in and saw our we have like a little bookshelf thingy. I keep my shades in there too, but we also have like our guns and stuff. I saw it was open, but in my mind I thought maybe I left my shades or whatever.
Your sunglasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't think.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Think of it when I heard the noise, and I just started walking downstairs. But I didn't walk downstairs with like a gun or anything like that. So I started walking downstairs, and when I walked downstairs, I hear something again. Well, at that point in time, Gannon was on the sofa, and I saw him, and I heard something again, and I walked on around to where so Gannon's room is here, and then there's a storage closet here.
Okay.
And I heard something, and so I walked to the storage closet to open the storage closet, and when I do, it's him, and he was standing in there, and he had on gloves.
In the storage closet?
Yes.
Okay.
He had one of the guns. Okay. And I was terrified.
Okay.
So terrified. And then he just knocked me down and towards Gannon's room. And he was hitting on me. It was hard, on the ground. Okay. And he was trying to rape me. And I told her. And I said, I have to tell you about this.
Okay.
And I from there on was like in a blur because I was trying so hard because Gannon had a table in his room and I went back and hit my head on
So
it.
how did you like
Ooh,
that?
loved it. I want to ride that
Gannon
horse
runs
again
inside the
sometime.
room
Ooh, yeah.
and like tries to like be helpful, do something, whatever. And from there, it was kind of like a blur. Everything else that was going on because I was
Thank
just
you,
like
Calamity
crying.
Jade. You're so awesome. It's super believable when someone cries and immediately talks normally in the next breath. Yeah, she just keeps doing this. It kills me, dude. Like,
I was freaking out. I swear to God, I don't know what happened from there. I really don't know what had happened from there. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And I'm just like, in the moment thinking, I had like these memories of like, wow, like the thing was open, he had the gun, and I didn't remember what happened from there, and so I kind of like blacked out just a little bit, and so all these things are going into my mind as I'm blacked out. I don't know if like, I know he was like when Gannon was like trying to get on him, I know he was like moving Gannon, and like, and it was just all like so like exciting to me, and so I'm like out of it for a little bit, just for a little bit, and then from the time I woke up, I say woke up, but like I kind of blacked out a little bit, and I immediately like freaked out. I was like, I was like, I couldn't find Gannon. I was like, the guy was still in the house. Lena was on the way. I didn't know where Gannon was at because I was calling for Gannon. I thought he was hiding. Like I legit thought he was hiding in like maybe the other closet that was on the other side, the other, whatever. I thought he was hiding.
What?
So I run up the stairs.
Bro, what are you
I
talking about,
hear
man?
that, I know it's like almost time for Lena, and I hear that the Ring app had like a alert for someone at the front door, but it could have been just like Amazon or something driving by because there was nobody at the front door. And then I run back downstairs because in my mind I was like thinking, where's Gannon? And I didn't want to leave and like run outside and scream and go crazy because I did not know where he was at the time. And everybody says to me, like, because I told Albert and him about it, and they're like, why didn't you like run go get help? And I didn't want to leave to go get help, and I was terrified because I know Albert would kill me because Gannon was still in there. So then
You're
when
a
I
little
get downstairs, he has the gun, and he has Gannon, and I'm sitting there like freaking out, like, okay, what do you want me to do? Blah blah blah. So Lena does make it to the door at this time, and then so I go upstairs because I know that he was like, don't say anything because I didn't know if someone thought like he was a cop or if someone heard something or I didn't know anything. So my thought process was, if I say anything, Gannon's down here, I need to just be as cool as possible at like, because we order things on Amazon like all the time, books and things like that. So it was Lena.
See, now
So
that's some
the reason I
bullshit.
sent Lena away was because I wanted her to be safe too. So I sent Lena on a mission to go get like the mail. Lena, it never gets the mail. No, nothing like that. I sent her on a mission to go get the mail.
Okay.
And so I just started making up random things for Lena to go do. And I looked at Lena and I said, she was standing there. I was like,
see, I think at this point she's starting to panic. Because see, I would love to see the look on the detective's face while she's hearing this. And I wonder how good Letitia is at reading someone's face. Like, because I mean, in theory, that seems like something a liar would be good at is, if you have to keep your lies going, right? And do it in such a flow. I feel like the only way to be able to do that is to be able to read the facial expressions from the person you're lying to. And I'm sensing panic. I'm sensing panic coming from her at this point because she is not feeling the vibe that her story is being believed. I'm finding that very, very interesting.
like, just stay gone for a little while because I didn't want her coming back and then that's, like her in a stress in the situation as we were too. So like in my mind, I think if I say anything, if I do anything, I just didn't know what to do. I was in complete panic. So I go back downstairs again, and I'm like,
and I don't think that this detective actually asked her any questions at this point. I think, I mean, not going into describing what happened yet, but I find it interesting that the timing that's taking place here is the detective that's in charge of Bethel. I just remembered Detective Bethel. Detective Bethel has gotten up to leave. She's in charge of the investigation. She's the one more engaged in asking questions. She's the one more engaged. She's the one that's been calling her and saying, we just want to talk so we can find out what happened to Gannon. So she feels more intimidated by her. And she figures that she's more likely to convince the other detective who's sitting there quietly and probably is and just simply isn't as engaged as Detective Bethel. So she feels less intimidated by her. And so she feels like she's going to have more of a chance of convincing this other detective of her bullshit because she's not the one in charge. So she could sit there and say, oh, well, I told her and I already said what happened. I don't know why you guys are interrogating me. I think it's very interesting. I think that she feels like this detective is going to be a more receptive audience to her because she's not as engaged in asking questions. She doesn't feel nearly as intimidated as she does by Detective Bethel. And yes, she knows she's being videotaped. Of course. She knows. I mean, what I'm saying is the vibe in the room. You know what I mean? Like, of course she knows she's being videotaped. Of course she knows that whatever she says is going to be used against her. I'm saying that she feels more comfortable flowing out this bullshit because she thinks in her mind that she's going to have more of a chance of this person believing her bullshit than Bethel. And Bethel's not going to be there to challenge her the way that she did. Because if you remember earlier, Bethel was asking her to describe the fire. See, this detective just wants her to keep talking. Bethel's probably behind in another room watching this on a monitor, for all we know. So she just feels more comfortable talking to this person because Bethel, as she was talking about the fire, she was like, could you describe the fire? Well, how high was it? Did you see how high it was through the smoke? Because I know there was smoke, blah, blah, blah. And she just kept trying to push her to get her to keep lying on top of lying until she breaks. But this other detective's not doing that at all. So she feels a lot more comfortable telling this part of the story to her because it's the most incriminating part.
I'm like pleading and like talking and like all these things going on, like just back and forth with him. And why are you doing this? Why did you hurt us? Why are you doing these things? And then it just started being like a hustle and puzzle, like back and forth. And I don't even remember how it kept going for, like maybe I say 5 or 10 minutes, but I don't know if it was that long. And then he was like on top of me again, and then I kind of lied out again because he just hit my head again. Really? And then and then I was on the table that was inside, like in between there's a red blue table in there.
Now, I haven't interviewed very many rape victims. Okay. I've only heard things about how rape victims are. I've seen, I don't want to say enough, but I've seen a lot of true crime because enough would imply that I know enough about this and I don't. But I've seen a few things that indicate that this is not the way that a rape victim would be behaving. Now, it's not impossible, but typically a rape victim would be a little bit more reserved, probably feeling some humiliation, things of that nature, even though they have no reason to be humiliated or feel humiliated, but this is what it does. And this is an incredibly traumatic experience for anyone that she's describing. And she's not behaving as though she's traumatized. Crying and talking at 1,000 miles per hour is not a sign of being traumatized in a situation like this. To my knowledge, I wouldn't. I'm just guessing. I don't really know. But what I'm saying is, typically, you don't hear things like this happening. So it's, I'm sure that these people have interviewed a few rape victims and they're not buying this.
Okay. Like, forced me in there again, and he was trying to do it again, and I was just like losing my mind, like completely. Like Albert's sister was raped, and so like in my mind, I kept thinking Albert's gonna be like I'm nothing, and I shouldn't have been thinking about that. I shouldn't have been, but I was, and that was all I could keep thinking about.
She's such a martyr. She wanted to spare Al of the trauma. Oh, God.
Was like, Albert was going to be upset, Gannon's over here, Lena's coming, all these emotions are running through there. And then he was like, he asked me to give him a suitcase, and I gave him a brown suitcase, and then he hit me on the head again, and I was like, right here. He just kept like hitting me right there like that.
Okay.
And so then he did that, and then I blacked out again. I was having a panic attack. And then I don't know what happened from there. I really don't. I don't know. I just know that.
She seems too excited to tell the story. She seems too eager, too excited to tell the story. And they didn't even push any buttons to get her to talk about this. They did nothing. She just outright just started talking about this and fake crying. And it's clear that she's not really upset. I mean, look at her face. They did. I only caught a little bit of it, Dumplings Gammy, but yeah, they did.
I did lie. I did. When they came, I did say, Gannon left, whatever. You know that.
Okay.
But he never did. He never left to go play. I just didn't know what to do, and I panicked in the moment. And I didn't want Albert to be like trying to hurt us, because we kind of get a lot of fights.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just want you to know that's the only reason that I made up the lie, is because I knew that I didn't want to face the consequences of, trying to explain to him all that was going on. Because he was saying to me, you're trying to make this about you. This is not about you.
Wow.
And I knew all those things because I've lived in it. So I panicked, and I just told a story, and I was going to try to think of a plan. I'm sorry that it might have delayed, looking for Gannon, but I do not know where Gannon was.
So her reason for Athens Bill, the glare, have they ever showed her husband? I never have seen him unless I forgot. Yeah, I mean, in trial and during interviews, they were pleading for, when they just thought he was missing, they were pleading for his return to the public. The mother and I actually did Landon, his mother, and Al, they did several press conferences and press releases while Gannon was just presumed missing. But he never really was. They suspected her pretty early on, but they didn't start really acting on it. But I did a video on this case. I went over the entire timeline before the trial took place. And that's if you just go, and if you want to catch up on that, you can check that out. And yeah, she absolutely made this completely about her. She's making it about her right now. This is the epitome right here of a lack of self-awareness. She is so full of herself and thinks that she's so much smarter than everyone that she doesn't realize that she's making it about herself, and yet is speaking on someone calling her out on it as someone attacking her. Like, she's looking at it like, and she's being very manipulative. She's trying to imply that Al is someone to be afraid of, that possibly he is a domestic abuser. She's trying to imply this, or trying to lead up to it. You can tell, you could just tell. And so, but I find that fascinating, that her lack of self-awareness is so prominent, because here she is making this entire thing about herself the entire time she has been sitting there. Hardly any questions asked of her yet. Only one detective's in the room. The lead detective has left, probably to go look into getting surveillance footage from the places where she said she went. Or she just wants to see what she's going to say with the other detective. Maybe she knows the other detective is someone that she's going to feel, maybe it's their own version of good cop, bad cop. I didn't think of that. What if it's their own version of good cop, bad cop? What if the detective that's sitting there now is the good cop and Detective Bethel is the bad cop? The good cop, bad cop routine usually goes something like, the bad cop gets really, and really intimidating and blah, blah, blah. And then the other cop, the good cop, has to go, hey, not on my watch. We're going this by the book. Go get some air. Hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? You comfortable? Blah, blah, blah. And then they get the person talking. That's always how it happens. But of course, that doesn't happen in real life. But it seems like a very similar strategy. I mean, I could be dead wrong for all I know, that she's probably not watching at all, at least not live. But it seems like that would be a good, considering that they've dealt with people before and probably have seen similar behavior and, have done a lot of interrogations. So it seems like they could have absolutely planned for this to happen, where Bethel puts a lot of pressure on her, like when she's asking her about the fire, and then leaves, and then she automatically feels a relief and feels less pressure and feels more comfortable talking to this person who's just been sitting there quietly observing, because she loves to talk. And so Detective Bethel is probably just standing behind some glass, listening to her spill her guts. I wonder. I would love that. Like, I would be so tickled if I found out that was actually what happened. That Bethel and this detective did their own little version of good cop, bad cop to get her to be doing what she's doing right now. I love it. That would be so cool.
I do not know. I do not know his whereabouts from that point on, but it was still in the same time frame that I gave you guys. So there was no contradictory to that same time frame, because it still was about 4 o'clock.
Okay, so go over the time frame with me. What was the time frame?
It had to be around like 4.
Okay.
Ish, because Harley gets off at 4:30.
Okay.
And so Harley had just gotten home, or no, was on her way home or something, and my phone was like alerting. I knew Harley was on her way home, and I was gonna tell Harley when she got there. I was gonna be like, look, this is what happened. We need to get help.
Yeah, like, see, she's a terrible actress. Because the crying, the waterworks, just, again, they stopped.
We need to call 911, and all I kept thinking about was, it's gonna be my fault, because I gave him the code. He brought the carpet. He did all that.
Yeah, there's no Maria here. There's and she's got too many memories. And so, you know, and let's say she's Maria when she blacked out. Those 2 times she claimed to black out. Yet, I mean, it still doesn't matter because everyone knows that she lied about this Eduardo guy. There was no footage of him coming in or out of the house. That would have the way that he got in through the garage would have been caught on the Ring cameras that you could see Gannon getting in and out of the truck. It wouldn't have happened. Her story is so all over the place. I mean, it was fun to drag her attorneys because they were dickheads. But they really did the best they could with what they had. You know, you really can't blame them. They did the best they could with what they had. I mean, imagine trying to get a straight story from your client if this is your client. You know what I mean? Imagine how frustrated these guys were representing her.
And did
he fix it?
No, I had already cut it.
Oh,
He brought the big roll of carpet. It's at the house. He brought that.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
where's that at the house?
It's in the back storage room.
Okay. Is that the one that he was hiding in?
Yeah.
Is that the storage room?
Yeah. They were doing that too. Absolutely. They were working on getting the warrant for a phone. And it was really funny to see how she was like really protective of the phone. Bethel was like, yeah, just give me the password. You know, she was like, oh, no, snatched it from her and then put it in. It's really interesting. She was really protective of her phone.
Room that he was in?
Yes.
Whenever you went down there?
Yes, I put the carpet back in the storage room. And the reason I put the carpet back in there because it was laying so the storage room was right here. It had fallen over at some point when all this was going on. So I picked it up and put it back on the thing. I rolled it up.
Oh.
It wasn't all the way rolled out, but it was like somewhat rolled out through the promotion, and I rolled it back up and put it on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So the time frame is that 4 o'clock is whenever.
I don't want to tell you exactly 4. I don't like saying that because
about
I don't
4
want
o'clock was whenever. Okay, we can say about.
Okay.
Okay. And then what happened after?
So
did Harley come home? Or?
Yeah, Lane is still out and about. Harley's home. Comes home or whatever. I'm pacing the house, like trying to think of a plan of like what do I do, and I should have like immediately like gotten on the phone, did whatever. But all I kept thinking about was it's all my fault. It's my fault because Albert's going to say to me,
listen, you got to understand here. You're making 2 different points, okay? What we're doing here, we're celebrating the fact that this person is gone. That society never has to deal with this person again. We're celebrating the fact that justice was served, that our justice system came through. And I can understand how that would be a different taste for some people. Some people feel differently about it. And you're free to your opinions. But I followed this case for a long time, and I've always covered it respectfully. And at no point will I ever, during this, disrespect Gannon or any member of his family. So if you don't see it that way, as Cherry said, you're free to leave. But by all means, you're free to stay as well. Psycho client member for 5 months. Glad I caught it live. Miss all the logical folks. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You gave some stranger access to our home. You know, this is all on you. And in my mind, I thought I could fix it. Like in my mind, I thought I could fix this. And I don't know why I thought that. That was a horrible decision-making process. But it also was in a very emotional state that in normal situations, people can say all they want.
I mean, I disagree with that. You're saying there's much truth in most of her lies. There really isn't. Like her stories, you know, as opposed to the evidence, her stories are totally outlandish and insane. They're not even remotely believable. The only thing that sells it is the fact that she can lie so effortlessly and just spit out lie after lie after lie. That could be a very dangerous character flaw to have. Someone who just constantly lies as they talk nonstop, you know? And I think we've all met people like this at some point. And no doubt they make you uncomfortable. My mind is blown as to anyone that finds her even remotely attractive. There's nothing about her personality that's attractive. There's nothing about her looks that are attractive. There's nothing, you know. I think that she has extremely manipulative qualities that allow her to navigate through life the way that she does. And I think that's all it is. I think that what has floated her through life up until this point here was her cunning manipulation skills. Because even like, think about it for a second. Even like there's even being somebody who is what we call in Spanish pesado, you know, like somebody who's just like, pesado translates into just a heaviness, you know, like a weight, you know what I mean? Like, so this is somebody who would be referred to in South Florida as que pesado, you know, she's fucking pesado as fuck. And that just translates into like a weight, you know, it's just somebody who just is too much, dude. Like they walk into a room and you feel the pressure crushing you from the energy that they put off in the room, and it's suffocating you. That in itself can even be a tool in having cunning manipulation qualities, like basically just reading somebody and whether or not you can wear them down with your bullshit and get your way from them just by wearing them down. You know what I mean? She had like two ways she could go: by actually convincing someone of her bullshit, or just wearing somebody down to the point to where, you know, they're just like, they give in. Fucking all right. You know, this is totally what she comes off as to me.
I will call, I would do this, I would do this. But if you're not in the situation, everybody handles things differently.
Sure.
And I was making an irrational decision in a panic situation when I should have immediately, being an educator, being all these things, it should have been one of those things where it was immediate, know how to answer. And you might think, this girl's going to want to be a flight attendant. She's got to be able to think fast. it was not that easy in the moment because my mind was in so many directions that I could fix it. I literally thought I was going to fix it.
Sure.
And that was where it went from there. So I was going to tell Harley. I didn't tell Harley. I paced around the situation and was thinking, okay, if I don't have any kind of like information, like if I don't have a plan in my brain by a certain time, that's when I'm going to call authorities.
Okay.
And so that's how.
So you had like predetermined a time that you were going to call if you hadn't figured anything out?
Well, I didn't come up with a specific time, but in my brain I kept saying, okay, I got to act soon. But
Wait,
I knew
what?
that, I'm like thinking by 6.
I mean, I kind of get that. I could see someone being like, all right, if this person doesn't show up by this time, that's when I'm calling the cops. Like it's natural for a parent to entertain the idea that the kid is just going to come right back. So I would never fault a parent for doing that, but I would also never fault a parent for calling 911 immediately, just depending on the situation. So
Six 6:30, like I need to make a good decision because what am I going to tell the girls? Because they're going to be like, like where's Gannon? Da da da. Like because we were going to all go eat sushi. So that was.
See, that's why at no point didn't she ask the kids if they've seen Gannon or mention whether or not one of the kids asked about Gannon. It's really weird. Right. And she keeps talking about a plan that she kept. She's a horrible liar. Like I said, she does it so fluently.
That was where that time frame would have been like, what am I supposed to do? Go get in the car and be like, Gannon's not going with us. I couldn't keep going on and on with the irrational decision of not calling 911.
Okay.
And I had to stop the decision.
So what happened? So tell me what happened as it went on.
So I called 911.
Okay.
And they said, hey, sorry, this is not an emergency. You have to call this other
line. Let's break this down for a second. So her story so far is Eduardo broke into the house, raped her, and she blacked out twice. He had one of the guns from the house and took Gannon. Or he had a gun, but took Gannon with him, hostage. Right? That's her story. And now she's saying that she had a plan in her mind as to when would it be appropriate to call 911 and report that she had been raped and that this rapist kidnapped her stepson. And now she's saying that the reason why she didn't call 911 immediately, besides setting a time and not panicking, because she didn't want to panic by calling 911 too soon. That's, so the other excuse why she didn't panic and call 911 immediately was because she was worried about what she was going to tell the girls, Harley and Lena. She was worried about what she was going to tell the girls. After she had just been raped and Gannon had been kidnapped by her rapist. Okay.
You big dummy.
The other line, and it was a 4-hour wait for them to get there.
Okay.
So 4 hours later, they came. I'm still in a panic set. I'm like, these people are, nothing I say is going to solve this situation. So I did say that Gannon left at this time. Again, I've admitted it's a very rational decision because it could have been more helpful.
Now, that body cam footage, I'm no expert, again, but that was not the behavior of somebody who had just been raped. Not even a little bit. None of it.
To be honest and say, this is the description, here's who we're looking for, instead of like the situation being like, he was gone. And that was horrible. I should have done that because I panicked. And I need to make a decision. You know. And so from then on, that's when you guys came. They came through, asked me questions, they searched the house, every room, flashlight, you know, whatever. They went outside in the garage. They searched my car, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. And was Harley there at this time?
When they did the searches? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she had, it took like 4 hours. So it was like later in the night that this had happened.
Okay. So when you say they searched your car, which car did they search?
Like the car, my car, like the black car.
The black car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, so there was a deputy, there was like 6 or 7. And then one of those deputies that responded to the scene, he came around with a flashlight and he like searched like everything up and down, every room, would ask me questions like, would this wallet be here? Would this be here? You know, like, would this be here? Would this be here?
Sure, trying
so,
to figure
out
what's normal, what's not normal.
And I put everything back in order. Like I told you I moved the carpet, you know, I fixed the situation because I was being stupid. And
Someone's about to piss Cherry off in the chat.
I should have told them what
I don't say I didn't warn you.
He went through everything. He went through the outside. He went through the car. He went through the trunk. He went through everything.
Like he actually got into the car?
He wanted my ID.
Okay.
And he asked me, he said, do you mind if I look around? He
Sure.
looked in the garage. He opened my car. In fact, he left my car to open because the next morning the back door was open.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he went in the car doors. I mean, I'm sure you guys have a record of who was in there. But he opened the car, opened up the trunk. He looked through the bags that were in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
He looked through everything in the garage, looked the bags, whatever over here. Came back in. He did the same thing. And
you saw how she emphasized on. Sorry about that. Emphasized on. He opened up the trunk. Like, why are you emphasizing the cop searching that part of the trunk? Like, I'm telling you, she's a bad liar right there. That's just like, okay, we need to really look at that trunk.
You know, like in different parts.
So he's trying to be like really thorough.
Yeah, like trying to be really, really thorough. He was going through every part of the house.
Okay.
And he asked me, was anything missing? And it was the truth. There was nothing missing because I did take the gun that he had. I did put the gun back.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So, was there anything else that happened on Monday? Like, did you talk to Harley about it?
So the guy, he comes into the house, rapes her, takes Gannon, leaves the gun that he stole from the house. Really? He didn't take the gun? He's not going to steal the gun?
About what I told you?
Mm-hmm.
No, I told them just the first situation.
Like what you told our dispatcher?
Right.
That and that was that Gannon went to go play at a friend's house.
Right.
And do you remember the friend's house name?
I never gave anyone a name or anything.
I'm glad you're here, Caleb, because that's an interesting part of the story too. But that comes later. I am gonna fast forward through some of this stuff because I don't think we need to hear like all her lies. I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna go to at least when Bethel comes back in. Yeah, I'm gonna get to this last part here.
You know, and that's assuming that I even set the alarm. I mean, I may or may have not. I mean, typically I try to. Typically I try to are in a different section, which would be accessible in case of emergency. We don't need the shotguns to be that. that accessible. So I put my handgun was already in its place.
Your teal one?
My handgun was already like in its place completely. I mean, I don't know if it was in the exact same location, but my handgun was present.
Okay. Where was it at?
In what you just told me.
In that
that
shelf?
Yeah. So everything was already there. I say gun. When I tell you put the guns back in their place, there wasn't multiple out in different places. I just want to make sure that it was
sure.
It was
I
put that gun back with
this is
partner gun.
I mean,
to make sure
I just fast forwarded through 2 hours of this shit. So I promise you at this point that this detective is extremely suspicious of her, much more so than she was before she walked in through the door.
So you put the black handgun back into the silver armoire chest thing with your teal handgun.
Right, in the same chest.
Okay. Yeah. And have they been moved since then?
Well, Albert took them.
Albert took both of them?
Mm-hmm. He made me give him mine too.
When was that?
Today.
Today?
Yeah. So he took all of them when you guys.
Not when they tried to pick her up. They weren't going to arrest her yet. I'm glad you asked that question. What happened at that point when she ran from the cops? Well, technically the first time, but when she ran from the cops, they were just showing up because they had a warrant for, I think it was Harley's phone. They came to pick up Harley's phone because they had a warrant for that, and they weren't going to arrest her yet. They were just collecting evidence. They were conducting an investigation in a standard manner. So they were basically just collecting evidence until they had enough that they felt would convict her. But she ran. I wish that body cam footage would come out. But she ran, and they were all when the cops testified, they were just like, yeah, it was weird. We didn't really know what to make of it.
You guys, I'm sorry. When your department, I guess they went through my closet or whatever.
Okay.
They still left the guns in the closet, but they weren't in the same place that they were.
Sure.
And so Albert took all them too because he was like, "Oh well, I don't want you to harm yourself," and things like that. He was saying those things to me, so he took them all and made me give him mine as well.
And that was today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a history of trying to harm yourself?
No.
Or...
He'll say things like, he tried to say something about like, I'll grab a knife, and he is not true. I do not do that. Like, I have never done anything like that.
Why don't I believe you?
Never.
Why? I'm gonna be Captain Obvious here. Why don't I believe her watching this right now? Besides the fact that she's just been lying about everything. If there's any person on the fucking planet that I would bet money on that would take a knife and threaten somebody with it or threaten herself with it for the sake of manipulation, it is absolutely that person, without a doubt in my mind. Like, and she's saying this. Like, Al hasn't told the cops this. That probably would have never came up. I mean, it would have, yeah. But you know what I mean? Al was trying to protect her up until this point. It wasn't until Al actually called Detective Bethel and was like, I want to talk to you. You know, I wasn't honest with you. I think they met at a Starbucks, sat down and talked. Al wasn't completely honest because he was being protective of Letitia, his wife. And then he later on was like, yeah, there's some more stuff. There's just things that are bothering me. And that's when Al started working with the detectives and the FBI.
Have received any kind of counseling for anything prior to anything like that disturbing somebody, nothing like that. So there would be no, like reason. And I told you in the beginning that mental health thing, I've always tried to put a blocker up because I know that, things can in your life can cause those problems, and I just never, I never did anything like that. Like I might be like, because I was raised.
I'm not gonna judge Al, man. Like he's been through enough, but you never know. You know what I mean? You just never know what the chemistry between these two people were. It's you never know. Like we know things like the nature of their relationship and how it started, blah blah blah, totally irrelevant to the case. I'm not going to get into that, but it's a fair question to go like, how can somebody not see this? Well, we're talking about a guy who's probably in a place in his mind that none of us can relate to. Who knows? And she came along at just the right time, had just the right things to offer him emotionally, and that's what happened. You know what I mean? You just never know why two people have chemistry and what the nature of it is. There are odd couples, there are, couples that seem made for each other, and it's just never going to be our place to ultimately judge two people being together, and whatever reason somebody decides that they want to be faithful and commit themselves to someone for the rest of their lives. It's not our place to understand it.
In the country, so it might be like if someone says something to me, that'd be like a funny thing, like you better watch out, like that type.
Sure, yeah.
But not anything that would have been like I'm going to cut myself and harm myself. He was, like in his military mode, protection mode, and
well, he cares about you. That's good, right?
So he wanted to just take everything away and from there. Because he was like, I don't want you to hurt yourself. And I was like, what?
Okay. So I just want to kind of like sum up what I think about, or what I kind of know generally.
And that was the thing, man. They could have just gotten together. You know what I mean? But he had his issues with her. They had to move because she had accused some of his brothers in arms of sexually harassing her. And he didn't even believe her then. But he wanted to be faithful to his wife and was like, whatever, we'll just fucking move. That's a man's decision to do what a man does. You know what I mean?
About what happened on Monday. Okay. So Albert didn't go to school that day, or not Albert. Gannon. I apologize. Gannon didn't go to school that day because he was not feeling well, and because you guys wanted to get the carpet fixed. Right. You went to the new build area, and you met Eduardo. And you arranged for him to come over to your house.
Wow.
While you were gone.
The story is so ridiculous.
Replacing that piece of carpet for you.
You said come over to my house while I was going to work on replacing that carpet?
Yeah. You gave him the garage code and stuff so he could come in and
But you said I was gone when replacing the carpet. I was gone shopping while he was
gonna do the carpet.
Okay, I got you. I thought you said it. I was making sure that you hadn't twisted the way I said it.
And that's exactly right. I want to make sure that nothing's twisted.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were gonna go to Petco, do some.
I agree with you perfectly.
Well, I didn't set out to go Petco. I set out to go shopping to get dogs some new.
Yeah.
Just happened to be Petco.
Yeah. So you were gonna go do some shopping, and he was gonna go fix the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You left the house around 10:30-ish, 10:30-ish, and then you go. At some point you got gas. You went to Petco twice.
And I told you Starbucks earlier, but it was actually Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay. Yeah. Got coffee?
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts, maybe? Okay. And then You get home about 2:30,
Mm-hmm.
2:30.
Mm-hmm.
You come in, and you said you wanted to listen to your music and work out.
Yeah, I was in the kind of like zone out mode, not in the remembering, oh my gosh, there's someone fix something.
She was in the zone.
And then
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
sometime between that 2:30.
Letitia, stop it right now. You do not work out.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
Or after you got home at that 2:30 time frame, you were getting your headphones, putting your headphones on, music, zone out, whatever else you thought you heard something. You went downstairs, and that was when this attack happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah, she absolutely does.
what time does Lena come home from the school bus?
It depends. They change the school hours. It could be anywhere between 3:15 and 3:30.
Okay.
Does not work out.
So 3:15, 3:30 is the typical time.
Mm-hmm.
Lena comes home. You don't want her to be in danger, so you send her out.
She doesn't have the self-discipline to work out. You know what I mean? Like, people who avidly work out, like, they don't have that. Like, it doesn't work. When you have a sense of entitlement and you're constantly an excuse maker, you're not disciplined to work out. Not at all. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, the one thing that is going to keep you from exercising on a regular basis is your what's the word I'm looking for? You're being prone to making excuses. If you are not prone to making excuses, then yes, you'll stay consistent, like most likely. But she's clearly prone to making excuses. Everything's a problem and everything's an attack on her. You know? Like, people like this don't work out. They just don't.
To go ride her bike and check the mail, and you go back down. Another altercation happens, and whenever the next thing you remember is that you kind of come to, and Gannon is missing.
Right.
Okay. So, and that was probably like around 4:00.
Yeah, because it would have been, or it could have been 4:30, but it wouldn't have been after 4:45, because let's see, Hollywood took 30 minutes to get home, so she hadn't got home. Lena was still riding her bike or out and about. Yeah, it had to be 4-ish.
Okay.
4:15, no later, like I said, than 4:45, because that would have been, Harley would have been already, like, on her way home.
Okay. All right. So I think I have a pretty good idea.
I'm pretty sure that was exactly right.
Okay.
Because I think
Dude, you know who the most hardcore people are? This is off the subject, but I'm seeing some stuff in chat. The most hardcore people are group fitness instructors, dude. Those people, like, will do, because think about it. If you actually commit to taking group fitness the 2 or 3 times a week that you do it, right? Or the once a week you do it, depending on the group fitness. It could be Zumba, it could be body combat, it could be, you know, there's all kinds. It could be spin, but group fitness, like, those instructors do that shit like 3 or 4 times a day. Like, most people go to a group fitness and they'll be excited about it, but they'll be dreading it. Like, and they're looking at the clock, you know, when there's 5 minutes left, like, come on, I got to get through this. Group fitness instructors are hardcore. I could never be a group fitness instructor. Like, I've attended body combat and I was just like, how do you do this? Like, all week. What? Insane.
I think I told, yeah, because then I sent Harley and Lena to the Dollar Tree. Yeah. Yeah, because Harley had to do Lena.
What is the you have an alarm on your house?
Mm-hmm.
What company do you use for that?
ADT.
ADT. Okay, I'm just gonna write that down. And you have the same. Is the passcode for the ADT stuff the same as like your garage door code and stuff like that, or?
Like, you mean like the login?
Like when you go in to disarm the.
Oh yeah. No. It's different because
Okay.
the alarm is.
Let me show you. This is the face of those of us who work out when we hear people say stuff like that comment. I'm a waitress. Work is my workout. Other than that, I'm a lazy bitch. This is my face, bro.
Gannon's birthday.
Gannon's birthday?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna take a break. Do you need to use the restroom or?
No, but I really need to. I haven't.
Think of something. Think of something.
Haven't eaten, and I'm just getting tired.
Okay.
And so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm worn down at this point.
All right. And we had talked earlier about whether or not it would be able to take action at this point as far as like gathering evidence and stuff like that with whether it had been too long, and I told you that it wasn't. Is that something that you're willing to do?
Yes, definitely. I would do anything for you to figure out who Eduardo is and to make sure that.
Okay. And it's perfect that.
I sound bad to say, to make sure that I could just like.
Okay. What pants were you wearing when all this happened?
There was a set of like clothing, and I had like washed the stuff like you said you guys.
Sure, it's fine. I get it.
Had taken some of the stuff out or whatever, but I put it with all the stuff that like I had washed and stuff like that. I don't remember if it was the black and purple or the black and blue, but it was like.
Look at how beat she is. Like all that lying, you know.
Oh, that must be exhausting.
Sporting like, athletic pants. They were on my chair when I went home last night.
Were they like leggings or joggers or?
Yeah, they were like kind of like this.
Like sweatpants?
Yeah. Well, but more of the nylon-ish material.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they were like black and maybe purple or blue.
Yeah, it was one of. I wear like a lot of Nike and stuff like that, so it was one of those.
Okay. And you didn't give him the alarm code, right? You just gave him the garage code, because.
Yeah, because you don't have to have like the alarm code to come in the house.
Okay.
You have to have. You know, and that's assuming that I even set the alarm. I mean,
how do you not need the alarm code to get into the house, dude?
May or may have not.
Unless you just didn't. Unless you just didn't set it.
Typically, I try to, log into my phone and do it if I forget. But that's just assuming if I had.
Right.
Whether I had or not.
Dude, you got to hand it to these detectives, man. Because look at how. Because Letitia is clearly worn down at this point. I mean, she is worn the fuck out. But this detective hasn't budged. She's totally attentive. She's asking questions. And that right there plays a subconscious psychological game with the person. You want them worn down. You want them to even hopefully get to the point to where they're like, you know what? I did it. Fuck it. They have to outlast the person that they're interviewing. They can't show any signs that they are the ones being worn down, which has got to be goddamn difficult. Like, ask yourself if you could really do that. You know what I mean? Like, what was the last thing that you did that required that much attention from you for 3.5, 4 hours? You know what I mean? Like, just being immovable, non-budgeable, just being that for those detectives must be exhausting. But it's not even a question. They have to wear them down, not get worn down themselves. It's not even an option for it to go the other way around.
Set the alarm, but I'm pretty positive. Well, I don't say positive. I'm almost certain that I had set the alarm.
Sure.
But it doesn't have a sensor on the door.
Okay.
Like on the.
Are you able to see if you log into your alarm account whether or not it was alarmed at that time?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to show you, but I couldn't. The service.
Okay. Okay. You might need to like plug into the Wi-Fi or something like that.
Yeah.
To do that, and there's open Wi-Fi. It's like EPC guest.
Right.
You know, it doesn't require a
Yeah.
password or anything
Okay.
like that. So if you want to do that, do you need to use the restroom or anything like that?
No, I'm actually. I mean, am I like free to leave or?
We're not holding you here. We'd like to get you over to the hospital for that.
No,
forensic exam.
I would totally do that, but I really am. I just want to get some food and take a minute, and I can.
So she claimed to be raped, so they want to take her to the hospital, get her checked out. You know, they want to collect the evidence. You know, they want to get DNA. Hopefully they'll get a hit, and that Eduardo will lead them to Gannon. That's the plan. Why won't she jump to the opportunity to get a rape kit?
I can drive myself to the hospital. I don't want to feel like I'm some, person they're going to look at differently because I am showing up with, police and people. And that's why I asked you, was it a secret, like where people would know? Because I understand you have a goal and a purpose, and that is our common purpose to have done here.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
I like that you made this point, Caleb, because it brought up questions for me while I was covering the trial. And I may have to reference back before I actually am able to explain it. But you're going to see something that's going to, I feel like you're going to probably think what I initially thought too.
So I'm thinking about how emotionally.
Yeah, and I get that. And so I will tell you that if we drive you over there, we don't go in the front. We go in a back way. So you wouldn't be seen by the general public or anything like that. And obviously we're not in like uniforms. Everything is concealed, all that other stuff.
And at the beginning of this, Detective Bethel told her that she was free to leave anytime she wanted, but she had to be escorted out of the building.
So it's not like we walk in with a scarlet letter or anything else like that. So, okay. Let me go check on a couple of things really quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay?
Okay, you said I was free to go.
Are you wanting to leave right now?
I'm really hungry. I'm thirsty. Look at my lips. They're chapped.
Okay.
They're like really bad.
Okay.
I mean, you guys know it's not like I don't answer or talk to you or anything like that.
Okay.
I've kept open communication with you.
Okay. Can you give me just a few minutes to just check to make sure that I've covered everything that I need to cover, and then I'll come back in?
She said that I would be able to go. Like, she didn't say I would be, like, I mean, I'm sure I've been here hours. And she said specifically that I would be able to go.
And I'm not saying that you can't. I'm asking if you can give me a few minutes. That's all.
I can, if you can, you just call me, or, I mean.
She's just so anxious.
I still have,
what's a couple of minutes? You know what I mean? Like, she's acting extremely suspicious now because what's a couple of minutes? You know? Like, I'm just asking you to stay for a couple of minutes. But she's like, at this point, becoming combative about wanting to leave.
Like, you know, I have to maintain my mental health in this whole situation, and that's
And I think she's also doing it just to keep her talking, because this is where the hole is being dug. Okay, the hole has already been dug, but this is where she just keeps on digging. You know, she's already down in the hole. There's no way out of it. So at this point, now everything that she's saying and everything that she's doing is suspicious. And it gives detectives a reason to be able, it gives detectives something to say on the stand when testifying in her trial and saying, in my experience, this person behaved like this because they were extremely suspicious. I've questioned other people and I've done this for so many years in my career and blah, 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 so on and so forth. And that's what they're doing right now is it's kind of a bonus because by stalling her, and as she just continues to make excuses and she continues to press about wanting to leave, it makes her seem less interested in finding Gannon and more interested in herself. So she just continues to dig that hole even deeper. And so at this point, while they're stalling her, they're observing her.
very important. You know, and I just want to go. My lips are burning, and I want to take a shower. I mean, look at my fingers and all those things.
Right. So it would be better
Yeah.
to get
Okay.
the forensic exam
I'm not
done
going over there like
before you
not
take a shower.
not like cleaned. I'm not doing that. Like as in shaved and things like that. I'm not doing that. I haven't showered in 2 days. I like that's disgusting. I'm not doing that. But I will gladly go.
Well, I mean, so you're saying you want to go take a shower before you go get the
No, it's
exam
not. I
done?
didn't say I was going to go take a shower. I said I need some time.
Caleb, dude, that is so fucking gross, homie. That is so fucking gross, dude. I mean,
No. Wait.
that is exactly what comes to mind. Dude.
And to just rest. I'm exhausted. I want to take a shower. My hair is nasty, and I'm not going over there like dirty, smelly for someone to.
But you realize that's how we gather evidence, right? So if you go take a shower.
Except no, they didn't have to say it, actually.
Right now, and I understand that you're like uncomfortable, right? And that you want to take a shower,
right?
And so that's why I would like to get you over to the hospital to get the exam done.
Okay, well, then I'm driving myself there because I'm not getting escorted to an exam when I'm already going through a difficult time with having someone violate my body. To whether you go in the front or the back. I mean, am I not allowed to take myself there?
See, the big question is, and they're not going to give her an opportunity to lie. They're not going to give her this window. They've been listening to her lie nonstop for 3 hours. Okay? So the big question here is that they're not asking, but she's telling us, is if this evidence can be used to locate the person who has Gannon, why aren't you eager to give it to us if you loved him so much? That's the big question happening in this room right now, except she's playing it smart. She's just letting her talk and talk and talk while letting her know this is how we get evidence. This is what we need. This is, but she's refraining from saying, why wouldn't you be enthusiastic? Why wouldn't you be eager to submit this evidence that if it could help find Gannon.
There, I didn't say that at all. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to impress upon you, like, if you go take a shower, then you wash away the evidence.
I know, I understand. I just said.
And you said you weren't going to go over there while you're.
Yeah, I don't want to go dirty. I can at least go freshen up or something. Like I'm.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay. So can you show me how to leave? Please.
I have to go over here. Let me get somebody to escort you out.
Now, they don't arrest her yet at this point, but this is interesting how this goes down.
She said that I could go.
Well, can you talk to me about what's
You told me I could.
I know, but I left.
I understand
so we started
that.
and I left, and I just want to get the fill in. So I have a couple questions about Sunday. If you're okay filling that in. I know you're tired.
I'm tired.
But
you said that I could go. I just want to take a break. That's all I'm asking for.
Where do you want to?
That means I want to just go rest. Like she said, I could drive myself to the hospital. So I just don't want.
What do we need to go to the hospital for?
Am I able
okay?
to just?
Oh.
I mean, what do you mean? Am I okay?
This is the first I'm hearing about a hospital. I mean.
Oh, this is slick.
This
is slick.
This is why because I've already given her information that you guys can clearly like watch and see, and you can know why I'm going to the hospital because she wants to get DNA, like or to have your body checked for
Were you sexually assaulted? When did that happen?
It happened on Monday.
On Monday? What?
I can't do this right now and go through it again. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
So let me make sure that we've got everything lined up for a SANE exam. That's what she was talking about.
Yeah,
right?
she's gonna do that, and I'm gonna just take a break. I want to get food. Look at my lips; they're chapped. I haven't.
You want some food?
I know.
What do you want to eat?
Okay, she just said I could be escorted out.
Okay.
And I promise you have my number. I haven't not.
You're done with all this?
Right. Not necessarily. I've heard of cases where a woman just doesn't know what, you know what I mean, what entails the investigation, and they end up taking a shower because they feel violated and disgusting. So it's not really uncommon as long as they know, but I agree with you in the sense that her in this position right now, no woman who with a missing child that cares about that missing child would not submit to the evidence that could locate him. No woman would avoid that. No woman would deny doing that. So a woman in this position, yes, I agree with you.
Right, I haven't not communicated with you. I have been.
Are you done with that Coke?
Nothing, but can I not take it?
You can if you want.
Yeah,
I just didn't know if you were done with it. We recycle too. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She knows they're trying to get that can for DNA. She knows.
Hang tight for me just real quick.
Right now, she's in her mind playing a mind game. She's playing chess with the cops. Again, this is not just about trying to get away with murder. It's about the game and playing the cops. She gets off on fooling them. She gets off on telling herself that she can fool them.
Make sure that she doesn't have any other questions because
she finished up. She just said
okay. I get that. I get that. Let's just let me double check with her.
She said I could go.
But she finished up the interview. I don't know. I'm not holding you.
She's in full panic mode. Like, if you're not holding me, I want to leave right now.
Can someone walk me out?
You want to leave?
I will clearly answer your questions. I just want to take a break. Like, I've literally followed all your.
Where do you want to go for your break?
want to see my child. I want to get lunch with her.
Well, I'm more than happy to get you lunch or to bring your daughter here or whatever needs to happen. I'm not saying that you can't leave, but I would like to finish up this conversation with you. There's a couple of questions about Sunday that I have, and this is the first time that I'm hearing that you're sexually assaulted. So
saying that right
that
there
would
with the
be,
people?
well, you came towards the door, so I opened the door. If you'd like to have the conversation in the room, we can. It's up to you. But like I said, I missed out on a bunch.
Like, that's what
So-
she's doing right now. She's like, and it's also, I believe this to also be a tactic to where they want to see if she tells two different stories. She told one cop one thing. Detective Bethel's now back in the scene, and she wants to know. She wants to hear the story again. This is the first time I'm hearing this. Wait, you were assaulted? This is the first time I'm hearing about a hospital. What? You were assaulted? And she wants to see if Letitia is going to go through that shit and tell the same story. And Letitia knows this. Or at least maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she was simply looking for and trying to get that warrant. But I believe she could have just told somebody, hey, go get this warrant, go see the judge about this warrant, blah, 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 and then sat there and observed. So yeah, I mean, so I feel like she had to know. She has to know. But Letitia suspects this. Letitia suspects that this is what's going to happen because she just had this look of exhaustion. She leaned her head up against that door.
Have the conversation in the room, we can.
Like, look at her. Oh God, I got to tell
up
all
to
those
you.
lies all over again.
But like I said, I missed out on a bunch. So
Am I please able to just go and chill out?
maybe we could just sit in the drink. Where do you want to go?
So am I not allowed to? I'm clearly asking the question.
Well, I'm trying. So I guess our communication isn't the greatest at this point in time.
She's great
Are
at
you wanting
stalling.
to leave the office to go get something?
Right. Yes. I just
See, Letitia's such a manipulator that she knows she's being manipulated, and she has no defense against it. Because if she just fucking tries to barrel through her, she's going to look even more suspicious than she already is. And she's trying to keep this balance, but she's doing it so unsuccessfully. She's trying to keep this balance of looking innocent while not looking suspicious. She's trying to keep this balance of being able to just get out of there and be let out without looking suspicious. But she's failing. I mean, she's failing miserably because she knows manipulation and she knows that Detective Bethel is purposely stalling. And there's nothing she can do about it because if she just goes, okay, I see what you're up to, fuck you. And then she just goes, I'm leaving. You can't keep me here. Fuck you. And walks out. This is going to cause some sort of rift between the two of them. And then she's going to feel that Detective Bethel definitely has it in for her. And she's going to work extra hard to bust her. So she's trying to make herself seem less threatening while not looking suspicious at the same time. And yeah, she's failing. She's failing miserably. And she knows it. So she's bombarded with these feelings of frustration, fear, anger.
Okay. I clearly have you have my number. I'm not going to not answer you or anything. You need to answer you.
My name's Maymall. How are you? Good. Good. So let me talk to you. So
Right now, her heart is just beating. and they want that door back open so that it gets recorded.
I get it. And so once again, we're back in the interview room.
Okay.
We're on camera. Mitch Mahalko, Lieutenant with the Investigation Section.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point in time, what we had just discussed outside, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that you decided that you wish to leave, and that there's no problem with that. I asked if
you didn't ask. You took.
Okay. So
you took.
Understood.
Okay.
So at that point in time,
See, he's not denying it, but off camera while they were outside, he took her cell phone from her.
You relinquished the phone to me. I
didn't relinquish the phone. You took it.
I took the phone.
Okay.
And I told you that we would be applying for a search warrant.
Okay, you said applying.
That's correct.
Sir, I'm not going anywhere. I literally just need directions. I mean, I have family numbers in there I don't have.
Understood. So at this point, we're going to be applying for a search warrant. Is that understood?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one favor. You let me find out, or you show me something that you can legally take my phone and you don't have a search warrant yet. Can you show me that? Can you show me that?
No.
Can you show me that?
We're being video recorded.
I understand, but could you show me that, sir? Because that feels like that's kind of a little unconstitutional.
And if that's the case, that can be something that you can bring up.
No, that sounds unconstitutional.
So at this point, we're going to go ahead and hold on to this phone.
No,
okay?
And here's the thing: is he allegedly took it. He never admitted to taking it. You know what I mean? If she tried to say that he violated my constitutional rights, you know what I mean? I mean, it's dirty, but you know what I mean? He could have totally just been like, no, I didn't take that shit. I asked her for it. She handed it to me. Then the other cops going, yeah, that's what happened. You know? Like with all the other evidence, who's going to believe her? You know what I mean? But he didn't deny it. He said, understood. But he didn't deny it, which makes me believe that he did it. But can't prove that in court.
That's unconstitutional. Okay, can I use another phone to call an attorney? That is unconstitutional.
There are multiple phones here within the division. So if you need to
I'm not hiding anything from you. I just want directions. I want to be able to call my family. No, you don't understand.
I do.
No, you don't.
And this is
you are doing something that's unconstitutional. You get a warrant, have it. Thank you.
So we're going to hold on to this.
Is
we
it
are applying
legal?
for it.
But why?
So
it's not. You don't even have a warrant yet. I just want directions. You can have the call.
Is there somewhere that I can write directions on for you?
No, I want to be able to have access to call. That's all. That's all I want. Access to call.
See, I think I heard somewhere, I could be wrong about this, but I think I heard somewhere that that they could hold the phone while applying for the search warrant because they have probable cause. Because they're not searching the phone, they're just confiscated it. So I think I heard that somewhere. I could be wrong, but that's what makes the most sense to me. But as far as not letting her leave, the problem with that is she has evidence on her person that could find a missing 11-year-old boy. So they can detain her without charging her.
It's not about the phone or the number. It's access to call.
So Tisha, at this point,
we've got you for false reporting. At this point, you're going to need help until we can get a search warrant. We're going to have a nurse forensic examiner do a scan, make sure you do okay. And we're going to get this identified suspect. Okay? So I'm going to hold you here until we get that search warrant.
Do I have to sit in this room?
Yes.
Do I have to stay with the door? I mean, I've been shut up in here, ma'am, and I've been nothing but respectful to you.
Sure, and I'm.
Sir, can I speak to you too? I don't care that you had the phone. You took it out of my hand, and that was very disrespectful. If you would have just asked me for it, I would have given that to you. I would have said sure, but it was It was the way that you did it. Okay. So, and then all I'm saying is, you will have to be trapped in a room.
Okay. So, Tisha, I understand that, and I hear what you're saying about feeling disrespected about the phone being taken, and that wasn't his intention to disrespect you. Okay.
See, she's good.
And I'm sure
this is good cop.
I'm not letting him speak right now, but I'm sure if I did, he would say that he is sorry for making you feel disrespected.
That's fine.
Okay. At this point, I'm being told that you have to stay.
Okay.
And this is where we have to keep you. Okay. This is going to be the most comfortable environment.
Okay.
Okay. Because like there's a couch and whatever else. Our
So
other interview room.
What was he saying? I'm paying for what now?
We're getting some search warrant.
Oh, okay. You're talking search warrant for phone.
For you.
For me, what does he do?
Because you've given us multiple different stories.
About you're talking about like the thing we talked about in there.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, okay, I see what you're saying. I got
because at this point you have evidence potentially on your body.
I got
right?
you. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
There you go. There it is.
The bathroom and
no.
Like all nothing. No. I can't pee. Nothing.
I can tell you that a forensic nurse examiner is accustomed to.
So.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. We're not telling you can't go to the bathroom and pee. What we're telling you is that you can't go into the bathroom.
Damn, I just told you that's where I had to go like an hour ago.
Hold on. I've offered you the opportunity multiple times to go to the bathroom.
I know, but I wanted to.
So hold on. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay.
You can take whatever you want from my body.
Right. And we're not saying that you can't go urinate or defecate if that's what you need to do.
Okay.
What we're telling you that we can't allow to have happen is you go in there and get paper towels and begin wiping possible evidence off of your body.
Do you want to watch me?
So, we will get back with you and we'll get you to a bathroom here in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
So just have a seat for us and we'll be back with you.
You can just watch me. What about like a colder drink or something?
Look at how she tries to like snake, like she has to come out on top. She has to feel like she's in control of the situation. This is very common with fucking lying shitbag people, right? That she has lost control of this entire situation for herself. The cops now have the ball, right? And she just has to throw that last thing in there. Can I at least get a colder drink? Like she has to try to make them servants to her to feel like she's in control of the situation. And it's a desperate grasp to do so. But it makes it so obvious of what type of person she is. Very easy to read as far as if she's a shitbag or not.
Hot meal, food.
Okay. So you need a colder bottle of water or a Gatorade.
Are you taking my drink too? What in the world?
There goes the DNA. That was and this is always the fun part. When they're in the room by themselves, remember Jodi Arias? That was fun. Oh, she's just going to try to walk out.
Am I able to make a phone call? Can I make a phone call? Because you said I could use the phone.
Yes. I told them to get you to that. Please have a seat.
But you said I could call in the phone.
We're not asking for questions.
Now, I can see how she does genuinely believe that her rights are being violated right now. They told her that she could leave whenever she wanted, and somebody just had to escort her out. That's not happening now. But what she's not taking into consideration is now they are shifting this into a direction only based on the story that she told sitting on that couch. That's it. I mean, she would not be in the position to get a warrant to search her body and her phone if she did not sit there and tell that insanely outlandish story and took 3 hours to do so.
Not allowed to make a phone call.
We're not asking you.
Have a right to.
Tisha, okay, so things have changed since I made that statement to you.
Yes.
And so that is, at this point in time,
wanna
you're,
know why
you're
I'm
no
being-
longer. Please let me explain to you.
I'm sorry.
So some things have changed. Initially, you were free to leave.
Right.
And, you know, you could stop answering questions
Right.
whenever you wished, et cetera, et cetera. Now, through the course of the investigation, we have reason to believe that you potentially have evidence on your body, and we're applying for a search warrant to collect that evidence.
That's what it was, because you
You're
wanted
not
to escort me there. And I
free to leave.
didn't want to be escorted there.
You're not free
I'm
to
not
leave.
I'm very educated.
We know you are. We know
Okay,
you're very
so
educated.
therefore-
and as somebody who's very educated, we're trying to get you to cooperate with it.
So we are
Very educated.
I know. I said, could she just take me over there?
So here's the thing, because you've already said that you didn't want us to do that.
I
Now we
understand.
have to go through the process of getting a search warrant because you've already declined that option.
I understand.
So it's
Boy,
gonna take a little bit longer,
cunt.
And right now I need you to have a seat on the couch.
But I cannot call anybody. Like, I can't even call family.
So right now you're being held.
Okay.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Oh.
Can you do those questions then while I'm being held for the time? Or you said something about you had questions.
You've already asked for an
Twat.
attorney.
No, I was
Out in the hallway, you said, do I need to call an
There
attorney?
you go,
And if I
Jerry.
make a phone call and all that stuff. So here's the thing. I don't want to get into all of that. Any
I'm
other
just getting
questions?
confused
Because you've already said.
I was saying I was.
You're entitled to shit.
I know, and
Not
the thing
against
is,
you.
I do not want it to be misinterpreted in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Okay? So we're going to hold off right now.
So you're saying you don't have those questions asked me while we were sitting
Not
there?
at this point in time.
Okay.
Okay? If something changes, I will let you know.
All right. Okay.
Eduardo.
Come on out, you rapist!
Wow. Letitia's freaking out right now. She's thinking like,
Trace the signal.
justice for Eduardo. Oh, look at her. 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 She's taking paper. She's taking tissue and wiping her twat with it. Bruh. Dude, and then you're gonna, what are you doing? Oh, are you just gonna stuff it up in
I
there?
just accidentally peed a little.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 No.
Hey,
No.
Okay.
Hell
We're
no.
gonna take you to the restroom.
No.
Okay.
No.
We're gonna
I'll
stay
be
in there. The stall door is gonna be closed where you have your privacy, but we need you not to wipe. Okay. And please don't flush the toilet. Just so that we can verify that indeed you did not wipe, because what we're worried about is potential evidence being compromised. Okay. Okay. You can leave your things here because we're just coming right back into this room.
Secure area, huh?
I'm sorry?
I said I acted like I wasn't in like some secure area.
Okay, smartass. Let's see what this mystery's all about.
I go to sleep? Can I go to sleep?
Bruh.
You're a magnificent cunt.
Easy. I'm having really bad chest pain. Like right here.
Okay, so she told the detectives that somebody raped her and took Gannon, which is all bullshit. So now they're saying that they've applied for a warrant to have her searched, to have her DNA searched. So, but I wonder. You bring up a good question, because I wonder if she was indeed cheating on Al. I mean, I would assume so, considering how completely and totally ungrateful she is, considering her searches that that became evidence that they found. I have no doubt. So I'm wondering if she's afraid that someone else's DNA is going to show up if they test her. And that's what she's trying to hide.
Okay.
My chest.
Okay, sit down. We'll call for help.
Bad chest pain. I need to probably
Okay.
get out of the clothes in.
Just sit in the couch.
So you're telling me we can't do it?
I'm telling you, we're going to call for help right now.
This is the standard way to go, I bet. Like, once you feel cornered. Like, have you ever known somebody like this? Like, I've known people like this. We'll leave it at that. But where they are complete and total utter assholes, and you care enough about them to argue with them, and then you argue and argue and argue, but you know you're right, and they were just an asshole, and you get to a point to where their argument just is no longer valid. You've made them prove to themselves that they are indeed an asshole. And then the defense mechanism to that, once it's that, you're in the corner. Once it's that, it's, oh my God. Oh, chest pains. Oh, you know, oh my health. My health. Like, type of 1, if you've ever known somebody like this. Type of 2, if you haven't. Type of 2, if what I'm talking about is completely fucking foreign to you. She's so basic. You know what I mean? Like, she's such a basic bitch, you know? 1.5. I love it. Oh my God. Like, yeah. Like, if you're over 30, you've known at least 2 people like this in your life. For sure. For sure.
Right now, but I need you to sit down.
I can't breathe. I just asked him to be out so I can breathe. It's
No.
tight and closed and I'm claustrophobic.
You just need to sit down on the couch.
It's really hurting, sir.
Sit down on the couch.
Sir,
Oh, see, they're sick and tired of this bitch.
Breathe. I'm just asking you to open the door. Sir, I just want to breathe. I'm asking you to keep the door open. That's all.
No, now we're gonna have to call you an ambulance because you said you got chest pain.
I just told you I have chest pains. It's claustrophobic. I
Okay,
couldn't breathe.
so we're gonna call you an ambulance.
I asked and asked
There you
for
go.
to open the door. I just can't
Yeah,
breathe.
we can't we can't be liable for or responsible for you driving and then having a heart attack while you're driving. Somebody could get hurt besides yourself. We can't let that happen. We have a responsibility as civil servants. So we have to call you an ambulance. That's procedure. You're complaining about chest pains. We got to call you an ambulance. Have a seat. We'll get that to you ASAP.
You're being detained right now. So
Okay,
sit
but
down on the couch.
I couldn't breathe. I just wanted the door open, and you refused that. That's all I asked for.
Because you're being detained, and the door helps that.
I'm not going anywhere.
So sit down on the couch.
Can you just leave?
See, Letitia, the door acts like this thing that will behave in a manner that keeps you, I don't know, detained. See, what it does is it closes. And when you're being detained and you're not free to leave, one would assume that you would use this mechanism in the room to execute the job of detaining you.
Leave the door open so I could breathe?
Sit down on the couch.
Gosh. I told y'all earlier I was claustrophobic and had really bad anxiety, and I take lorazepam for it.
Yeah, well, you
And
weren't claustrophobic until...
Excuse me. I take lorazepam every day, and if I don't take it, I could have a panic attack. I take it on panic attack. So you are misquoting what you heard, sir. Just said open the door.
Okay, well, we're going to have medical come check you out.
I mean, ridiculous.
You said you're having chest pain?
Yes, I just, because the door's been closed. I haven't taken my anxiety medicine. I've taken it so many days in a row.
Okay.
So I'm having...
You had told me...
I don't ever take it except on panic attacks.
Okay, yeah, so you had told me earlier that you don't take it on a regular basis,
I don't.
but whenever...
Panic attacks. And I've
are
taken
you
it the last
having...
few days. I feel like I am. That's why I kept asking you to open the door. So now this gentleman thinks that I'm being frustrated and deal with him when I asked several times just to open the door and let me get fresh air. That's all I asked you several times.
Okay. Would it be helpful, like, do you have your lorazepam
No, I
with
don't.
you? Is it in your car?
No,
Is it
I
at your
don't.
house? Or,
That's why I asked could I open the door.
like, do you want to see a medical personnel, or?
I mean, I wanted the door open because I was having chest pains. That's all.
Okay. So what I need very clearly from you right now is for you to tell me whether or not you feel like you are having a medical emergency.
Having a panic attack now.
Okay. Do you feel like you're having a medical emergency that you need to be seen by a medical provider for?
I mean, not probably at the moment, but I am having chest pains, and usually it's a panic attack alluring.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't taken it, so it's like taking me off of it because I couldn't get to it yesterday. I've had general anxiety since I was 16.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So I literally opened the door and asked him, could I just open the door? That's all. And he started making accusations.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that wasn't...
He didn't make any accusations.
He
didn't make any accusations. He just said, well, I mean, sit down on the couch. We'll call you an ambulance. That's what we got to do.
But I didn't come on interview. Have I came at you been disrespectful to you?
No, and I hope that you don't feel like I've been disrespectful with you either.
That was very unprofessional what you did.
I don't think so. I told you we were going to call medical. That's
no,
not the
that's not
necessary
what you
response
said.
to saying.
That's not what you said. But
no,
okay.
that's exactly what I said, and it's on recording.
Okay, but that is not what you said. You started making up reasons why when I do have chest pains.
Okay. Well, I believe that you have chest pains. So, like I said, if you would like medical attention, then we can get you medical attention. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. That's what he said he was getting.
Okay.
And he told me to sit back down and shut the door.
I'll sit here with her if you want to.
Thank you. Just leave the door open. That's all I'm asking. Just want the door open.
Okay. So, we'll get somebody to come check you out. Do you have any kind of, other than the anxiety disorder,
No,
do you have any other medical conditions that we should be aware of?
No, I'm just hungry and tired, and when I get like this, I panic attacks.
Okay. So, I mean, I gave you a Hot Pocket earlier. Is there something else that I can get for you? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want, I have burrito, I have tamales. delis. We have all kinds of stuff here. We can order something if there's something that you need to eat. You just got to tell me what it is. What would you like? I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna buy lobster, you know, but what would you like to eat?
First, I would like to see can they like help me with anxiety medicine?
Do you need somebody to bring us your anxiety medicine?
Like
I don't have anxiety medicine here. So
yeah, no, I'm saying you said you could call a medical professional.
Sure, I can call like an EMT. Like they're gonna call an EMT.
Thank you.
But they're not going to be able to dispense medication to you. If you have a prescription, I mean, maybe your husband can bring it and we can get you your medication. You can self-administer what you already have prescribed to you.
It's already swelling up right here.
Huh?
And my throat is swelling now. And all I asked for was for the door to be opened.
Okay, well, it's open.
I know, but he was very like rude about it. So could I please read? That's all.
Okay. Well, maybe you two y'all's personalities don't click. You know, sometimes that happens.
But come on, I'm a human being. It's a door. It's a door. It's kind. Open the door. That's all I ask.
Okay. Well, it's open now, so we can.
Yes,
move
I
past
appreciate
that.
you. I'm just saying.
Why the fuck you lying?
You know, if there's anybody at your house that can bring your medication.
Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Medication is not at my house. It's probably because book bag. So yeah, it's probably in my book bag.
Bruh.
Which I put it my friends and right here. But I don't know the number because you guys took my phone. So.
Well, if you want to tell us your passcode, we can get the number out of the phone. If that's
You
what
guys
want to
already had the passcode, because I told you plainly earlier when you were here about something. I said the code for, I think it's the same password we use for everything. No.
Oh God, she's in such
I don't know
pain.
what that passcode is.
She's in such pain,
Your
y'all.
friend's phone number out of your phone. If you want to give me the passcode, then I can do that.
Okay, but you said medical. By the time my friend would get here, the medical people could already.
But they're not going to be able to dispense medication. Like the EMT is not going to be able to dispense medication.
So have a chest pain, and you're just telling me I can't do that.
No, that's
No,
not what I'm
they
saying.
called you
I'm
an
saying
EMT.
They're calling for medical personnel, but it's going to be an EMT. You're telling me your chest pains are anxiety related, and I'm trying to offer a valid solution to get you your prescribed medication for that issue.
It's because I haven't taken it. So
And I get that. I get that.
Some paramedics on the way.
Perfect.
I'll meet them in the lobby and bring them up here, okay?
Perfect.
Uh-oh.
Carl.
Claustrophobic. I just want air.
Man, this is some bullshit. Move this man.
Do you have any, like, I know some people, whenever they have anxiety attacks and stuff like that, they have, like, little, like, songs that they sing to themselves or things that they think about that kind of help calm their mind, calm their anxiety. Do you have anything like that? Maybe, like, a favorite vacation?
I'm trying.
Bro, like, what if she just shit herself?
What's your favorite vacation you've ever been on? What did you do while you were in Aruba?
All right, gotta breathe.
Sure.
She's having stomach pains, y'all. Tisha, not in the couch. Not in the couch. Stop it.
Shoot. Fucking shoot.
Jesus. Letitia, yo, let this woman go to the bathroom.
Ow. Now it's kind of spreading right here. Are they almost here?
I've been standing here with you. I don't have that answer. When was the last time you took your lorazepam?
I'm such a child.
And like, you take that like that quality, that amount, you can't not take it the next day. You have to like.
Right. So I'm asking, when was the last time you took it?
So I would have taken it yesterday. What's today? What is today?
Today
like
is
the day of the week.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So I didn't take it Tuesday or today. So. My lips are so chapped.
Oh my God, what did you eat?
You said your favorite vacation
Jesus.
was Aruba? Mm-hmm. Do you like to scuba dive or snorkel or?
Ma'am, I'm being serious. I'm getting dizzy now.
Okay. We'll just lean back on the couch.
Yeah, I like boating activities.
Boating activities?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep,
feel free to put your feet up, do what you need.
I don't care about y'all taking my, what you call it, swiping my thing because of evidence. So don't think, because I know that's what I do. He yelled at me and said, because you're going to take it anyway and you can have it because that's what reported it. But I really am having chest pains.
I believe you.
So my body is in not everyday conditions, and I work out a lot.
You serious?
I can't breathe right now.
Don't do it, Letitia. Stop moving. Like you're gonna keep squeezing them out.
Earlier, I took a Tylenol, and my throat started getting like a headache, and I felt a little bit of tightness. But sometimes that helps, you know.
Sure.
I think my throat's kind of dry. Like if I had like something, I asked him, could I get something to read? And that might help.
Wow.
Because you talked about focusing on the brain or something. I feel like that would help, you know. But he said I couldn't have anything to read.
It just sucks to have to put up with this lady's bullshit, dude.
Remember how we talked about other questions to help the time pass?
Can you give me like a minute? I can't hardly breathe.
Okay.
But I would most certainly do that for you.
Stop it. Get some help.
Are you okay listening to me? Is that okay?
But you're gonna want me to answer right away, right?
No, you can take your time.
No, I want to answer you right away, so then that would trigger that. So it's gotta take a little bit, just like 3 minutes or so.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, please don't close the door. Okay.
This much. That's all.
I just get tight again.
Like
it's hard to breathe in here. Why is it so hard to breathe?
This is just her her way of convincing herself that she's in control of the situation.
Stuffy after a little bit. They do.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, we got one vent in
Yeah.
here, so, you know. Where'd you get those shoes?
These are old shoes.
I haven't seen that pattern before.
Yeah, they're old shoes. All Nike freaks are like that.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not that same pattern. Maybe the sole in that.
No. If it's a 5.0. Like different 5.0s, if it's the same one.
What the fuck are you talking about?
But I don't ever really wear these. These are old. They're probably like a 2012 model. Maybe 14. Something like that.
Yeah, I've had my Nikes forever. They last for a while.
Oh. Are they coming? If I could just get some oxygen or something.
Particles coming.
Some oxygen.
You know, sometimes if you sit forward, lean
I
forward.
did. I couldn't breathe.
Still can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you have a bit of anxiety. Is that right?
Well, it gets really bad with my diet changes and like workout changes, and I can't breathe. So I asked that guy, could I open the door, and he told me no and shut it. And I was like, please. Is that light blinking out there?
Yeah, it blinks.
There.
Here we are. Medical, sir.
Thank you.
Are you Letitia?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kent. I'm a
Hi.
paramedic with the fire department. What's going on?
I have a little bit of chest pain.
Okay.
Just like right here, and now
Oh my
can't
God,
breathe.
I don't
just tried
care.
to get him to open the door so I could breathe, but
Okay.
it wasn't.
When did your chest pain start?
Well, I didn't have like I take lorazepam, so I don't know if they might be anxiety related, but
Okay.
Take your arm out of this
jacket, please. You have a history of anxiety?
I had anxiety since I was like since I was 16.
Okay. And you just take the lorazepam as needed?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had taken it like a few days in a row, so
Okay.
without taking it, I feel like I'm
You can lay back if you're more comfortable. You don't have to sit.
queasy and sick.
Okay. Do you currently have chest pain right now?
Yep.
What does it feel
I'm
like?
telling them right now, it's going up more and more.
What does it feel like? Is it a stabbing pain? Is it a pressure?
No, it's like pressure.
Pressure. Okay.
Wait for it, guys. More bullshit.
Are you nauseated?
More bullshit.
Normally short breath?
You're gonna be fair. Here it is. Here it is.
This is
But they opened the door so I could breathe.
Okay. We're just going to check your heart, put some stickers on you, and take a picture of the electrical activity of your heart there. Do you have any other medical problems other than anxiety?
Any other ones?
Uh-huh.
You mean like
You're a
dealing with that area or in general? In general?
Is that a medical problem?
Do you have any other medical problems like
No,
cancer,
yeah,
asthma,
no.
diabetes,
Yeah,
high
like-
blood pressure?
Yeah, like asthma. but
You have
not-
asthma?
But not those other ones that you said.
Do you have any other diagnosed medical history from a doctor?
Oh, diagnosed, no.
Okay. Do you take any medication every day other than the lorazepam we already talked about?
Not every day, no.
What other medicines do you take some days?
I don't know what it's called.
What is it for?
Sleeping?
Okay. Do you have any allergies to medications?
No.
All right. What's your birthday?
August?
I have this on. How old are you, miss? How old are you?
Boy, cunt.
Listen up.
Oh.
Answer
yeah,
the question.
35? Ma'am, what's your date of birth?
35?
What's that?
35.
No, what's your date of birth? What day were you born?
Boy,
what year?
cunt.
35.
Okay, we'll get it from the police. We're going to put some more stickers on your chest just to take a good look at your heart, okay?
Did I answer him wrong? I don't understand.
I'm just asking what your birthday is.
Oh,
And you keep saying 35.
August.
I'm sorry? What day in August?
She's delirious.
We're going to have to
y'all.
put some stickers right underneath your left crest here so we can take a look at your
August
heart.
4th. What year?
Oh. 1983.
1980.
Oh, God.
No
Man, I
offense,
didn't
but
catch
you
your
are
name.
a stupid
Give me your
asshole.
name, please. Not Tisha.
Can you spell Tisha, please?
Give her information, first name, last name, so we can write down, please. Man, when's the last time you had problems with your anxiety?
I have it for a while,
Like, you know, these guys are like, she is completely full of shit. You imagine how much it sucks to be EMTs and have to deal with that shit, and somebody else actually probably needs help.
We got a special disliking for these bunkolas.
EMTs, you let them know.
whenever I don't eat and don't get enough exercise and a different routine.
Which routines?
Any drugs or alcohol today?
Mhm.
Huh?
Yeah.
What have you taken?
Just them?
Huh?
Earlier before I went to the bathroom?
I'm asking if you've consumed drugs or alcohol.
Oh no, yeah, Tylenol.
Still fun.
Just answer a straight question.
I get really busy.
We're not getting anything here.
A little bit busy.
This woman's dead.
Your vital signs look good. I'm going to take a look at your heart here, okay?
Okay, cool. Can I sit up so I can breathe?
Yeah, you can sit up. Sure. Make yourself comfortable. Do you want to turn your legs over here so you can sit down and lean against the back of the couch there?
Okay.
You nauseous?
Yeah, and busy.
You have your phone on you?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the...
Thank you. It's kind of going down to my stomach now. Like right here. My stomach.
It would too. Should be in.
Okay.
What if they
Oh.
I wonder if these people accidentally run into a doorway with her on people like her on a gurney.
I can't hardly breathe, sir.
You're getting enough oxygen.
I know, but I feel like I can't hardly breathe.
Okay,
I just want to
well.
if you got
Just
oxygen, air.
That's one thing. You're getting enough oxygen. Right now, you need to control your breathing.
Okay,
So you
I'm
need
trying.
to slow your breathing down.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy
with
accidents.
anxiety, if you start over breathing, then you develop that chest pain. Okay, so that's probably what's
trying.
going on here.
I'm trying.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna work.
Let's try one more time. I'll turn off and turn back on.
So right now the paramedics are discussing what they're looking at on the monitor.
Okay.
Just take a look and see.
Right here.
Yep, they're looking at it right now.
Why am I doing this? I just am breathing. That's all.
I'm sorry?
I just am having breathing problems. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Is it pretty consistent with your anxiety?
Not like this. I don't need this.
Yeah.
Did you go?
I'm sending it right now.
Ma'am, would you like to go to the hospital?
Yes.
Your heart looks good. Everything looks normal.
Yes, I want to.
Okay, which hospital would you like to go to?
I mean, I don't even know where I'm at.
Okay, you're downtown, so Memorial's the closest. Is that okay? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
Smash all these stickers. I think we're gonna have to do it when we get down to the.
I'm getting cold.
Okay, just hang tight there. If you feel like you're gonna get sick, then go ahead and hold on to this bag here. We're just gonna figure out what we got going on here. Alright, let's just go ahead and sit up. And we're gonna walk out here for the get all your things. Are those your sunglasses? Yep. You need to get this done. Okay, right out there.
Well, so the way this turns out, for those of you who don't know and aren't as familiar with the case, when she got to the hospital, she escaped. She ran. She left. So they never did get the SANE exam, and yeah. So so yeah, this was all a ruse to get in control of the situation to where she could leave. So and the thing is I don't believe that they actually expected to actually go for her to go through with this SANE exam. I think that they probably saw that she was going to escape or she was going to leave involuntarily, and they wanted to see if she would actually do this. And lo and behold, is she guilty? Yeah, because why is she not only willing, but why is she not eager to submit any evidence that could locate the person who allegedly raped her and has Gannon? So why, if she cares about anyone but herself, if she cared about finding Gannon, why was she doing everything that she could to avoid anything being collected that could help find her stepson that she cares so much about? Because she just gave a whole 3-hour speech on how she's fucking mother of the year. But yeah, and it's just interesting to watch someone like this who thinks that they're of high intelligence. That's always fun. Those same people who end up, I'm having chest pains when they feel cornered. They always think that they're smarter than everybody too. And they pride themselves on being a lot smarter than they are, which is always just very funny to me. And she thinks that she's smarter than 2 detectives who do this all the time. They interview people all the time. They know what's suspicious and what isn't. They know why. I mean, they could spot something as simple as you not having consistent stories. It's very, very easy for them to do that. Because it's their job to do that. They're trained to do that. They went to college to do that. They went to the police academy to do that. They've studied on how to do this. This is what they do. So it's very telling of someone who lies as much as they do, but also thinks that they're smarter than the people that they're talking to. And it was really funny to see her panic about that too. Like she was even saying while they were outside, the mic was picking it up, and she was saying, "I'm a smart person. I'm an intelligent person." And they were like, "Yeah, we know. We got it." Nobody's saying you're not. So, that's the end of that. We could still go over if you guys are interested. I mean, not tonight. I'm calling this tonight. But we could still go over if you guys are interested. There's still the FBI interrogation. So we can go over that if you guys want. Most likely tomorrow. And but yeah, I am starving. I gotta go eat. So I am gonna call this. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I love you, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.